Okay, I think we are ready to start. So since we got a late start, we will cruise right through. All right, so welcome to our HSTP meeting. We are in a different place today. As you can tell, we will do what we can. My name is Rima. A few of you are some new faces, so thank you for coming. Let's have the roll call. We'll have Lori do the roll call, and then we'll do introductions for anybody else.
Shelley Entrican, Barb Long, Audra Miles,
Here.
Joe Coffin,
Here.
Craig Boynton,
Here.
Anna Fuchs, David Luders,
Here.
Mary Patton, Allison Borland, Tracy Dowell, Shannon Peterson.
This is Tracy Dowell. I'm here.
Oh, okay, sorry. Shannon Peterson,
Here.
Megan Brake,
Here.
Alicia Dalt,
Here.
Tyler Rogers,
Here.
Darren Howlett,
Here.
Dawn Harper,
Here.
Jody Scott,
Here.
Angel Marinish,
Here.
Dr. Shamra Robinson,
Here.
Kylie Rathman,
Here.
Chris Mitchell,
Here.
Connie Shiley, Jim Brimner,
Here.
Greg Cassidy.
Here.
Did I miss anybody that's here, but I didn't call their name? Did we get everybody that's online?
I think
Shelley's here.
Shelley is here virtually.
Shelley, okay.
We do have a quorum. Thank you, everyone, so much for coming.
Oh, that's lovely.
And anyone who we didn't call, whose name is, who's here but not officially on the committee. I see Melissa Orwell from IDOT. We've got Jared Patton, Jared Arthur, there's a different Jared, from Snyder Village. Anyone else that we missed? I think we got most everyone. Okay, let's move forward. Any public comment today? Okay, and we've got 3 sets of minutes to approve. I would like to propose to approve all of these as one, with the same motion to approve all. Does anyone, so can I have a motion to approve all of these 3 minutes for today? We've got David Luders. I heard different, we'll do Craig Boynton for second. Does anyone have any comments on the minutes? Okay, all in favor of approving the December 3rd, October 1st, and August 6th minutes, say aye. Anyone opposed? Okay, that is approved. Thank you. All right, so next we have the approval of the bylaw changes. I did go over these at the last meeting, but I will do a very brief overview of what we're looking at here. So these are very slight changes overall. Basically, we have clarified the target populations. That's Article 1, letter D. So these are the different populations that we focus on for HSTP. We just wanted to write them in the bylaws just to show that that is what we're focusing on. Moving on to the next page, under letter C, we made the language consistent for urban and rural committees appointment styles. So we just added in the language that basically was already there. We just clarified it. And then in Article 4, meetings, I'm jumping around because some of these are very short. So Article 4 meetings, we added an update about the OMA language because this was a new law. I believe it was 2024, that one of the options to join by online is because of unexpected childcare obligations. So we're just writing that in because the law changed and clarifying the wording there. And those are the big changes. So does anyone have, oh, I'm sorry, I needed to ask for a motion to start talking about that. And then we'll delve further if we need to. Does anyone have a motion to approve the bylaw updates? We've got Craig Boynton as number one. We've got Dr. Shamma Robinson as number two. And I just gave the update there. Does anyone have any comments or suggested changes? Okay, hearing none. All in favor of approving the bylaw updates?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, thank you so much, everyone. All right, so now I have a presentation about the HSTP document update. Let me share my screen here. And we should all be able to see this. Okay, perfect. All right. So we have every year, not every year, every periodically, this committee in Tri-County has to update the Human Service Transportation Plan document. It's a little bit tricky because the language is HSTP, it ends in the word. This is the document that just talks about what our process is and what we do. And what is part of it, and what that really means. This is, oh, there we go. Okay, there's a bit of a lag online. Okay, all right, so what is the purpose of the document? Basically, it goes over our 7-county region, which if you don't know, it's Knox, Stark, Marshall, Fulton, Peoria, Woodford, and Tazewell counties. It outlines the state of human services transportation for specific populations. And the ones that we focus on are abilities, those with low incomes, veterans, and anyone else who kind of fits into that option of needing extra help with finding transportation. And so we call these transit dependent populations, just to make sure that we are connecting people with what they need. So that's the general purpose of the document. It's kind of the same as this committee as well. So it's documenting what we do and what we strive to do. So what does that actually mean? Whenever we put together a planning document in general, we ask 3 questions. So basically it's, where are we now? Where do we want to be? How do we get there? So this is broken up into, we're calling kind of the state of the region, which is where are we now? And then the analysis and planning, which is where do we want to be and how do we get there? So in the plan, if you haven't read all of it yet, which I brought a brand new copy and we just released it yesterday. So this is new. You haven't had a chance to read the update yet. But in our plan, we have it structured as the background of the region. We have listed the needs and options for transportation, specifically public transportation. We have programs and some funding sources. We have and urban demographics. So talking about who lives where and how we manage where people are situated around the region. And then we have region-wide, the list of transit and human service entities. So a lot of you are here. We have others that are not here that we collaborate frequently with. So that is what currently exists. And we want to question how we want to make things better, how we want to understand where we want to go. So we did some outreach, mainly in 2022. Here I will pause and say that this update for this document is, I've been calling it kind of a light or diet update because we just updated it in 2023. Been 2 years. Normally we do this about every 4 years. Historically, we've done it every 4 years. The main reason why we're doing it now, once again, the simplest reason is to say that IDOT asked us to do it one more time. But the bigger reason is that we're showing kind of the incremental updates. So we haven't looked at adding new goals because I feel that we haven't, 2 years is not too much time to be able to make good on the goals in a substantial way. So that's something we'll do in the next update is to really expand on how we can explore maybe new goals that make better sense. And so we did some light updates that I'll go over in the next slide. And finally, we did, this plan shows service gap analysis, the goals, like I mentioned, and successes from the previous plan. So there we go. So this year's plan updates, I see now there's a thing up there that I can't get to. So this year, I mentioned we did a light update. So what that means is we updated the demographics based on the census data that was available. And so we improved the maps and the charts to be 2023 data because this is the most up to date that we have now. Actually, it's 2022. And about 2 weeks ago, after we already made all the maps, they came out with 2023 data. So we didn't quite catch that, but everything is as up to date as we could. And then we have a little bit of new survey data. And I outlined that there. I'm gonna try and take care of this message. So we also have updated HSTP committee list because folks have changed over the years. We've got collaborating entities that are not, don't always come to or part of this committee, but are useful in the process. Other service providers. So if somebody doesn't fit in a box that works for whatever we have available, maybe they would need to trickle into a taxi or something like that. Bylaws, which I will update since we were able to update them now. After this public comment process, I will add the new updates. And finally, some projects that we have done since then. Let me see if I can remove this here. Okay. All right. So if you were here at the last HSTP meeting, which not everyone was, but some of you were, so I won't go through all of these maps, but we have for each region. So within one, we are one HSTP region. We split the document up into focusing on all of the counties. And then the next section is just the urbanized area. So this is an example of maps that show all of the counties. And you can see that this shows the population of seniors, so folks that are 65 years and older. And it has changed just a little bit over the years. And that shows us where we should focus our efforts. And this is an example of the map that shows just the urbanized area. So all of these show several different populations. We have youth, seniors, people with disabilities, the population below the poverty level, zero vehicle households, veterans, minority populations. So all of those are for both shown in the whole region as well as just the urbanized area. And then at the end of each section, we have what we're calling the transit dependent population. And these show all of, basically it's an analysis of the areas that have a high concentration of one or more of any of these populations that I listed, including, we added one more thing, which is population density per square mile. And we added that because we recognize that transit opportunities can be more challenging in rural areas. So we're prioritizing them a little bit higher. So we put all of those, we analyze them, and these show the highest concentrations of transit dependent. So that doesn't mean we will only focus on these areas, but this is some good data to keep in mind as we move forward. Oh, okay, I won't go too in depth here, but just wanted to let you all know that, as I mentioned last time, we had surveys, and we put out the same surveys that we did when we did the last plan, so it was 2022, and we did not get a very good response rate. That was kind of based on my workload, to put it nicely. So that is a lesson learned that we will do better next time. The last time we did this, we had some folks volunteer to sit at a transit agency. I think, Shamma, you might have been one. That was very helpful. So if somebody's physically present at a place where people are coming and going, whether it's at a bus station or even, it could be a grocery, at any time, anywhere that we can identify. So that can be something that we can improve upon in the future. So we only got 24 responses. That is not that many. But since we did go through the survey process, I did compile the themes. They are similar to the themes that came out the last time we did the surveys. We got at least over 100, maybe more. I can't remember the number. But these are probably, you're reading through these thinking, well, yes, these are issues, because I've heard these as well. So service gaps that have been mentioned. We've got issues with scheduling rides for demand response. We have, some people mentioned bus driver attitudes. We've got timeliness on picking folks up, either on fixed route or demand response. And then some suggested improvements were expanded hours, more frequent buses, broader geographic reach when possible, more education about public transit in whatever way that could mean, and more vehicles. We all know that everybody wants vehicles. That's a tough subject, but this just shows that there's definitely a need. Interestingly, folks mentioned that they travel mostly for medical purposes, and then the second most frequent one was work. And then rides are needed. Basically, they checked all the boxes. We need rides at all times. But the main times listed in this iteration of the survey were weekday mornings and afternoons. So like somebody was coming into work. So, sorry, I'm trying to. There we go. All right, so, and in terms of the price, most said they were willing to pay about $1, but it varied. So this is gonna be hard to read. Don't worry about it. It's in the plan. I just wanted to show this is what the document looks like, and I will explain what this is. So in the last iteration of the plan, we had a list of what I'm calling just other service providers. So these are, if you read through the categories here, regional / community entity. So we have like organizations that part of what they do includes public transportation or transportation for their clients. We have intercity bus. We have accessible vehicle rental. I'm only aware of one place, but there is one place in Peoria that allows you to rent an accessible vehicle. We have healthcare, so any kind of non-emergency medical transportation, taxi services, and I decided to include this final category, even though it's a little bit tenuous. So primarily shuttle / special event service. So basically these are advertised as like party buses, but I do know for a fact that a couple of the agencies like that, they do some help in the community. So it's possible that they would be willing to assist with transactions as well. The last thing I wanted to mention about this that is hard to read here, but this time I included a clickable link to their website and a phone number. Last iteration, I did not have either of those things. It was just kind of a list, FYI. So now maybe it's more usable. And also I recognize that a lot of these are based in and around Peoria. If you know of any that I missed, please let me know. These are the ones that I'm aware of. But I would love to know more, because I definitely want to acknowledge that this is more than just a Peoria plan. It's just one component. All right, so we're going to end on this slide here. we have a 30-day public comment period that started just on Monday. I just mailed out the copies. So whenever Tri-County puts out a public plan like this, we do a 30-day comment period. We mail copies to 20 local libraries in the Tri-County area, so Peoria, Tazewell, Woodford. Because this plan is broader, I also mailed a copy to 5 public transit providers that are outside of our Tri-County borders. And so that's just the hard copy. Anybody can access this online. I do have a link here, and I can make sure to send that link afterwards in this meeting. I welcome comments. I am just one person, so chances are that something was missed. I would love to hear your thoughts, and if I missed anything, that's why we're here, is to help fill in the gaps. So if there's anything missed or anything that could be portrayed, maybe clearer, anything like that, please let me know. So you can send me an email. You can drop off something to our office. If you want to call as well, you can. So that 30-day comment period closes on March 4th. And we will consider to adopt this plan at our April 1st meeting. But we do still have some time until then. All right. So after all of that, we're not approving anything today. I just wanted to give you an update and give you a chance to comment. I know I just released this plan, so you haven't had any time to go over it, but this is just to provide an introduction about what's in it. So is there any initial questions at this time? Well, thank you for listening to me talk. That was the bulk of the meeting today. So now I will move on to our next agenda item, and we will go around and do some provider and agency updates. Let me stop sharing here. We will do our best with the sound system. So for everyone online, we don't have mics in the crowd, so maybe try and speak up as well as you can. I'm sorry, it's not ideal, but let's go in person first. And why don't you just quickly say your name and who you represent, and then just since we have some new people in the audience, then if you have an update about your organization, you can throw that in. If you don't, that's fine too. So let's start over here with Craig.
Craig Winton, City of Galesburg. We are in the process of going through training for new software. We'll be implementing CTS in the near future. And we are also going to come through a primer process with RTAC for expanding services countywide.
Nice, that's great. Joe?
Joe Coffin, private of Galesburg. We serve adults with developmental disabilities. And we're still waiting for 3 new lift vans, hoping to get those soon. We've been without any backups for a while now, so that's been a challenge.
Yikes. Okay, well, thank you. Tyler?
Tyler Rogers with Advocacy Eureka. We also serve adults with intellectual developmental disabilities. No updates.
All right, thanks. Kylie?
Kylie Rathman. I was formerly with Expressive Living Professionals. I'm now with Cast Technologies. I'll update you with my new email address for that. Again, still having issues with transportation, even in this new role. Due to the hours that our employees operate. Really early hours, 5:30 in the morning. A lot of people can't, unless they have their own vehicles, travel. Unless they're close, can ride a bike, things like that. So definitely need to work on other solutions for people that need to get to work early in the morning.
Excellent, yeah. All right.
Hi, Alicia Dahl. I'm with the Pekin Park District Miller Center, which is the senior center in Pekin. So I hang with, we say 50 plus, hopefully doesn't offend anybody, but we don't ID. So anyway, we do have a transportation service there that you have to start in Pekin because we're part of the park district. We are essentially funded through the Pekin dollars that way. And we have 2 wheelchair accessible vehicles and we run 5 days a week. About 7:45 to 4 o'clock.
Nice. Excellent. All right, Dr. Robinson.
Shima Robinson, Director of Community Engagement and Public Relations with Greater Mass Transit District City Link, 7 days a week. We also provide fixed route bus transportation for all in the community, as well as we have a contract with TransDev and provide our city lift service, which will be door-to-door on demand.
Right.
What's my update?
I think you're good. Thank you. All right, go back behind there.
Greg Cassidy from TCRC, Tazewell County Resource Center, work with folks with intellectual and developmental disabilities. No updates from the TCRC on the transportation side. Karen. Take care of care.
Perfect. How about Melissa?
So we are asking, people waiting on vehicles to keep an eye out for contracts that will be going out. For those vehicles, once the contracts are complete and the vehicles are done with the bill, we can start sending those out. We did get some vans, that were delivered over to Southern Bus Mobility, and we were out inspecting those on Friday, so these are starting to move. And other than that, there have been an increase in accidents where unfortunately the operator of the 5310 vehicles was found to be at fault. So we are asking organizations to look at your training programs, see what you can do to maybe add some defensive driving. Just try to, maybe do an update, pressure training or something of the nature to try to work on preventative measures. So we don't lose more vehicles to accidents. Another piece is we are, registration is open now for the RTAC conference in Springfield in March, beginning of March. There is going to be a special training for 5310 organizations on March 5th and 6th. So there's also a special registration just for that training. So if more of the 5311 stuff doesn't apply to your organization and the time's already hard to kind of get out and go to that training, you can just come to that 5310 training. We're encouraging everyone who can to go to that. It's going to be a good comprehensive overview on how to run your 5310 program and how to prepare for reviews and such. So that's something coming up as well. And that is all.
All right, thank you. David?
David Wooders, Marshall County Board. See Tracy online, letter to the vehicle status updates.
All right, thanks.
Joe Scott, Advocates for Access, no updates. Other miles from county, no updates.
All right, I think Jim is next. Got anything for us?
Me?
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay, yeah. No, we've got 2 services in our locale, actually more than that if we count our partners like Agency on Aging and We Care. Within the urban area of the city, we offer a city township co-op along with City Lift for people with disabilities ages 18 to 59. Which means we move some of the kids that are in high school with disabilities, we'll bring them across the river to Epic or to employment or other services they may need. We also work, like say, with Agency on Aging. Sometimes we have some people older than 59 that will help with that services as well when needed. And we also have a separate transit service service, if you will, a van service in town. It used to be a cab service and they retired. And so we were able to hook up with a group called TDK Events. And they do a lot of events around the weekends. But they weren't doing much during the week, so we were able to strike a deal with them, and they picked up our service, and they're very, very good at what they do. So that's our crowd of people age 65 plus, for a $3 ride anywhere they want to go within the township. That's working out well. So we've struggled a little bit, I think, with drivers, with trans development and city lift, but trying to work through that. We'll be okay.
Yep. Yeah, I will say that TDK events was one that I added to the list that was listed as kind of a shuttle service. But because Jim said that they're working with him, maybe others will be willing to do the same. We don't know. All right, coming up next. Thank you, Shannon. Adam, do you want to share anything or you're good? All right.
Megan Brink with Cabo Mason County Special Ed Association. Our updates.
Excellent.
Chair, I was Snyder Village of Metamora. This past weekend, we just went with tag and did our defensive driver show as a refresher. It's good. Other than that,
Okay.
Darren Howell, We Care Transportation. We offer repair transit service and public transportation through rural Haskell County and all of Woodford County. One thing I do want to comment on is the provider map, which I know you guys have been looking at, looked at again before I came. Looks great. I know it's getting tweaked here and there and finally getting those boundaries. So appreciate that very much. No
That's
updates
great.
other than that.
Perfect. Thank you. How about you, Dawn?
Dawn Harper with Epic. The only thing I just wanted to mention that Epic is holding their biggest fundraiser March 20th at the Paradise Hotel Casino. It is our Bon Appetit. So tickets are on sale now. If anybody's ever interested, you can go on our website. Other than that, we're just waiting on the IDOT vehicles. So just waiting on a date to pick those up. That's about it.
All right, thank you. Okay, so we will turn to our online folks. I do have my speakers turned all the way up, so we will do our best. The first one I see is Monica. Do you have anything to share?
Hi, this is Monica Van Dieven with the Center for Sight and Hearing. We're a nonprofit organization providing vision rehab training to people with blindness and low vision. No updates.
All right, thanks for joining us. How about Tracy Dowell?
So I think last time that I was at one of these meetings, I was talking about our vans that have lifts on them. We had one that was deemed unsafe, and so that left us with one. And we had breakdown with our lift, so that left us with none. So happy to report that we do have one with a lift that is back operating. So we do have that capability. And we're excited that the new vans are going to be coming soon.
Nice. That's great. You're back to, at least you have one. All right, moving on. I see Jody Vanderheit is next.
Hi there, Jody Vanderheit, Transition Specialist with SEEPCO, and no new updates.
Excellent, thank you. How about Angel Marinich?
Hi, I'm Angel Marinich. I'm with TransDev. We operate City Lift and County Link. No specific updates, just the usual. We're very short on drivers, and we're working with CityLink on some possible ideas on how we can improve that. And that's about it.
Okay, thank you. How about Chris Mitchell? And I think you might be muted on your phone. You can try and push *6. I think that's the unmute on the phone. We'll give you a few seconds.
Hi.
There you go.
Oh, thank you for the cue. I am primarily a passenger, but I consider this a very important part of my social work life, this committee and some other committees on which I serve. And I do have some updates. I was impressed that my doctor's office called City Lift to tell them I was done early without telling me, and that the dispatcher called me to confirm that I would be ready to travel with them in the plan that they did. This particular doctor's office was very distressed about a 6:30 p.m. wait for their staff one evening. So I guess hopefully this is something they worked out with you, Angel. I don't know. But I've had excellent drivers since our last meeting, and people that remembered places where I had been transported, and respected myself and other passengers. Larry and Charles Stewart are people that I remember. Shanice, I know she's functioning in a different role, but those people have been really outstanding. And I really am appreciative. I don't know if we have talked about
Thank you, Chris.
the idea that Methodist has a contract with the ambulance service to take people home that don't have rides at night. I don't know if they do it during the day, but they're not particularly safe about assistive equipment. So I've had to get mine repaired after they got me home, and it wasn't really safe to use. So those kind of things could be noted for people that live farther away than I do. So thanks for listening, everyone. Take care.
Hi, this is Jessica Ortega with Illinois Valley Center for Independent Living. We assist people with disabilities. I currently have no updates at this time.
All right, thank you, Jessica. Chris, you started cutting out a little bit at the end. Was there anything else, or were you done?
I was done. Thank you very much. I don't want to take too much more time. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. All right, and I think the last one I've got on the call is Shelley Entrican.
Hi, this is Shelley Entrican, Fulton County Rural Transit and Fulton County Rehab Center, and I have no updates.
Perfect. All right, thanks to all. Moving on to the last thing on our list. Hey, we made good time. We started late, but we're gonna end early, so it's gonna be a good day. So my HSTP coordinator report. I just want to start out and ask. So yeah, we had some IT issues, but does anyone have comments on this new location? Is it better for you? I see we have more people here than usual. Is it just a good day, or is this a better location? Does anyone have comments about that?
It's a great location.
Jared?
I like this location. Right? Still take find parking garage, get the ticket, I'm gonna go upstairs. You know, saying where here's just like that day walking in here.
Okay, we got 2 positives.
I like it.
Nice, that's good. It's just a little further north, but we are next to a highway, so that could help. Anybody else have strong feelings either way?
I think set up some use or look. Like kitchen.
Yeah, yeah, I feel like a teacher. I don't need to be up here. Yeah, I agree. And and the more if we would meet here more, which I could talk to John about this, we can easily fix the IT issue. So we made it work today. Go ahead, Jared.
next year, or we can go?
Yeah, I have not confirmed it yet, so I can talk with Dawn. I don't want to put her on the spot right now. But if if you want to say something now, you can, but you don't have to.
As long as our board members is available. Yeah.
That's great.
And if you feel that this room is not gonna be big enough, you have a huge cafeteria that doesn't, it's not being used at that time. Lunch is usually over 5 minutes. So.
All right. And we have cookies, which is a very nice touch.
Oh, it's a plus.
Thank you for that. That's great. Okay, so I will confirm, if most folks like this location, I will confirm afterwards, see if we either keep coming here more often or just come here for the time being. So I'm glad that it's positive because I never really know. We've been, and our office is downtown, but we can always travel if we need to.
Additional, just the HVAC, I'm sure it's running, has run since we've been here.
Yeah,
I can't hear them.
right. Totally agree. We've to yell. Go ahead, Joe.
I have a question for our IDOT. I'm sorry, I didn't get your name. This is my first time through the process with the application. I believe we applied in 2020 and it's 2025. Is this an aberration or is this what we should expect going forward?
So we are releasing our next application this spring/summer. Back before COVID, we were putting out applications annually. Unfortunately, there's been such an increase in inflation on vehicles to where we just don't get funding now to warrant an application annually anymore. So we are possibly every 2 years doing an application. Again, I don't know what to expect with the vehicle costs over the next couple of years, but that is where we're at. We are hoping to get back to an annual application, but it all depends on how much funds we bring in. Because we don't want to, only be able to issue like 10 vehicles at a time. So we want to kind of store up a little more funding to reach as many people as we can.
Okay, does anyone have any comments on meeting location or anything else? I'll open it up to other as well. Okay, yes, thank you. Did I see you raise your hand again, Joe? Or no? Okay. Seeing things. Any last final thoughts before we start to wrap up? Okay, yeah, I'll just to end it, I'll send the link to the new HSTP document. If you want to look through it, I brought one copy. You can leaf through. Yeah, you've got 30 days to read through it. Give me any kind of comments. And I will confirm the meeting locations moving forward. So this is looking great. Thank you so much, Dawn, for letting us use this.
I'll go check some other days.
All right, well, we'll adjourn at 12:51. Thank you so much, everyone. Thanks, everyone online too.
Well,